Welcome to Film and Fact, where stories come alive with sharp insights, bold truths, and deep dives into movies you love or love to question. Today, we're walking through the powerful and haunting tale of Wuthering Heights, a story that has gripped readers and viewers for almost 2 centuries. This isn't just another adaptation. It's a film that breathes new fire into Emily Bronte's classic Gothic romance, exploring the wild terrain of love, obsession, and revenge. So settle in as we unveil the layers beneath the moors, the raw performances, and the cinematic choices that bring this infamous tale to life. And hey, if you're passionate about heartfelt film breakdowns and honest takes, don't forget to subscribe for more content just like this. Because at Film and Fact, every story deserves to be dissected and celebrated. Now, Wuthering Heights is much more than a love story. It's a tempest of emotion set within the brooding Yorkshire moors, where two families, the Earnshaws and the Lintons, get entangled in a web of passion and tragedy. The film meticulously follows Heathcliff, the orphan brought into the Earnshaw family, and Catherine Earnshaw, whose wild spirit both captivates and destroys. From the start, this story is fueled by intense emotion and complex relationships that refuse to be simple or neat. The narrative begins with Heathcliff arriving at Wuthering Heights, immediately clashing with the social order and sparking a fierce, obsessive bond with Catherine. Yet their love is anything but idyllic. It is destructive, full of misunderstandings, and shadowed by bitter revenge. Unlike many romantic tales, this one doesn't shy from the dark, visceral soul of human nature, with its jealousy, pride, and longing. One of the first bold choices in this adaptation is how it visually and emotionally envelops the audience in this harsh, moody world. The cinematography draws heavily on the wildness of the moors, expansive, untamed, and at moments almost a character of its own. This natural setting mirrors the tumult within, emphasizing the themes of freedom clashing with societal expectations. The filmmakers use color and light sparingly, favoring a palette that reflects the bleakness and intensity of the characters' experiences. The moors become a symbol not merely of place, but of the turbulent inner lives of Heathcliff and Catherine, where love and pain intertwine. No exploration of this film would be complete without talking about the performances. Jacob Elordi's portrayal of Heathcliff is raw, magnetic, and at times unsettling. He captures the paradox of a man both fiercely loyal and ruthlessly vengeful, torn apart by his upbringing and his undying love for Catherine. Margot Robbie brings a wild, raw edge to Catherine, expressing her fiery spirit and vulnerability in a way that makes her more than a tragic figure. She feels palpably real. Their chemistry is electric and often charged with an almost painful intensity that holds the viewer spellbound. Some critics have argued about casting choices, especially for such iconic roles, but the undeniable star power of Elordi and Robbie does draw viewers in and sustain attention throughout. They manage to navigate the complexities of characters who are flawed, emotional, and at times, unforgivable. The supporting cast, including the loyal Nellie and the cunning Edgar Linton, round out this family saga, giving it depth and a palpable tension between social classes and personal desires. This film doesn't shy away from the darker aspects of the story either. It embraces Heathcliff's downward spiral, not sanitizing his cruelty, but portraying it as part of a larger cycle of pain and vengeance fueled by his harsh upbringing and social rejection. The relationship with Isabella Linton, fraught with manipulation and abuse, adds another layer to Heathcliff's character that is both disturbing and compelling. The film doesn't ask the audience to like him. It demands they understand the forces that shape him. While many adaptations have played up the Gothic romance angle, this version leans heavily into the psychological drama and the destructive nature of obsession. The script cleverly balances moments of tenderness with brutal honesty, not glossing over the uglier sides of these characters. And for viewers who know the story, the film offers moments that unravel the traditional narrative, sometimes adding a more explicit sensuality and intensity to the relationships, reflecting director Emerald Fennell's distinct style. She doesn't just retell the story, she interprets it for a modern audience with a sharper, edgier lens. From a thematic perspective, Wuthering Heights is a rich tapestry of ideas that this adaptation explores with both subtlety and force. The film grapples with social class divisions, the nature of revenge, and the idea of love as both redemptive and corrosive. It delves into the supernatural but in an understated way, focusing more on the hauntings of memory and trauma than ghostly apparitions. The moors symbolize freedom and entrapment simultaneously, a place where the character's darkest desires and deepest regrets play out. In the technical realm, this production shows impressive craftsmanship. The sound design enhances the mood with a haunting score that subtly intertwines classical motifs with raw, emotional undercurrents. The visual effects are used sparingly but effectively, especially in scenes that evoke the eerie and unsettling Gothic atmosphere. The camera work often employs close-ups that capture every flicker of emotion, reinforcing the intensity of the character's inner turmoil. For all its strengths, the film is not without flaws. Some viewers have pointed out pacing issues. The storytelling can at times feel slow, dwelling heavily on mood and atmosphere rather than progressing the plot briskly. This could test the patience of those more accustomed to faster-paced adaptations. There is also debate about whether the explicit sensuality and some creative liberties taken with the plot serve the story or distract from the original novel's essence. Yet, these choices contribute to making the adaptation a conversation starter, inviting viewers to reflect on what Wuthering Heights means today. The film's approach to the dual narrative structure mirrors Emily Bronte's novel in an interesting way. Much of the story unfolds through the perspective of the housekeeper, Nellie Dean, whose narration reveals biases and interpretations, adding layers of unreliability and complexity to the storytelling. This makes the viewing not just a simple retelling, but a study of perspective and memory, inviting audiences to question what they are shown. There are spoiler and spoiler-free ways to engage with this film, so if you prefer to keep the haunting twists and tragic outcomes intact, the intensity of Heathcliff and Catherine's love, the wild moors, and the emotional stakes will grip you profoundly without spoiling key moments. But for those who want to dive deeper into the tragic fates and the lasting impact of revenge that follows the characters into the next generation, there is much to uncover that adds emotional weight and context to the story. In the final analysis, Wuthering Heights is a film that demands attention and introspection. Its passion, its flaws, and its bold choices make it a compelling watch, especially for those who appreciate layered storytelling and powerful performances that don't rely on conventional romantic tropes. This adaptation reaffirms the novel's place not only as a Gothic classic, but as a narrative that continues to provoke and inspire. If unpacking stories like this is your passion, remember to hit that subscribe button so you never miss the deep dives and honest reviews coming your way. Film and Fact is where every frame matters and every story gets told, warts and all. So what's the final verdict? Wuthering Heights offers a moody, intense, and sometimes uncomfortable journey into the heart of obsession and heartbreak. It excels in emotional realism and cinematic style, but requires patience and openness to its darker themes and controversial interpretations. For fans of Gothic romance and those interested in complex character studies, it's a must-watch. For viewers seeking light entertainment, it might be a challenging experience. Thanks for spending this time exploring Wuthering Heights with Film and Fact. Keep watching, keep questioning, and keep coming back as we uncover the stories beyond the screen.